Welcome back to Afternoon Express here on S3. You, my friend, are in time. Yes, you are here on time as well for the perfect dessert. It is a Swiss roll with an orange twist. Why? Because Zolwanele is in the house with all the twists.
Holding it down, absolutely, because at the end of the day, in true Zolwanele style, no meal is complete without a scrumptious dessert. And so today we're ending off our show, as Tabzi Wabzi has said, with a absolutely delicious, decadent and absolutely satisfying orange Swiss roll. Now, you've clearly made sure that we are getting to work.
Yes.
So maybe I should stand up.
Yes. So you've got the Swiss roll that's ready rolled to be filled. So you're going to carefully unroll it, and then you're going to spread some marmalade on it, and then you're going to spread some cream, and then you're going to re-roll it. So very carefully unravel it. We don't want it to crack. Okay, so now back to the beginning. So let's start at the beginning here.
If you ruin that, I mean, it's over, right? Before it even begins.
Well, it's not. Don't look at her too closely because the nerves will get to her. Okay. So here we've got some...
The pressure is getting worse.
Eggs and some caster sugar at foam stage. We want to whisk it until it reaches ribbon stage. But before I do that, I'm going to add some vanilla paste to it for delicious vanilla flavor.
Is that the same as vanilla essence, or could I use vanilla essence?
So the paste, actually, you'll see if you look at it closely, it has the seeds in it. So it's actual pods, you know, the vanilla pod.
Yeah.
Delicious, decadent. You could use vanilla extract as well, which is also an extraction of the vanilla pod.
Okay.
When you use vanilla essence, essence is not pure vanilla. It's basically the perfume of vanilla. So basically, it's the chemical compounds that make the vanilla flavor and scent put together in a lab to make the essence.
In essence, it's not the same.
It's not the same. It's not the same. But I always say to people, just because you can't afford vanilla paste or vanilla pods or whatever, you can definitely use the essence, because you should use whatever ingredients that you can afford.
Absolutely.
Okay, so don't let it stop you from making this.
Tabzi Wabzi, can you please pass me just a spatula or some? I want to start spreading all the ingredients here that's laid out for me.
You know what, the gag is me almost asking you, and I'm going to give you the whole thing.
Oh, Tabzi doesn't even know what a spatula is.
No, I know. I want to test that you are here.
Tabzi,
Grab it.
you literally could have given me this.
I don't want to contaminate it.
So spread some of that.
That is still not a spatula, hey, Pali?
Well, okay.
It's a palette knife.
It's a palette knife,
Close
yes.
enough.
But it's also just because, you know, at the end of the day, my kitchen is not a fully equipped chef's kitchen. So I'm using whatever I have.
That's it. You can. You really, really can. You can make use of all of that. I think what the inspiration is today here is that we're traveling on flavor and we're journeying across the world in that way. So much of the South African infusion as well. But we're also seeing how we're able to repurpose so much of the stuff in our pantries, in our fridges.
Absolutely. And, you know, this is an orange Swiss roll, but you could, of course, flavor it with whatever you want. So we're using orange marmalade. You could do apricot jam, which is very traditional. You could use strawberry jam. You could use blueberry compote. You know, whatever flavors that you want. Passion fruits or granadilla, whatever you want.
What's the best time to wake up at night if you're somebody's husband to make this dessert?
I do not get involved in such.
I joke.
Okay, so basically you want to whisk the eggs and the sugar and the vanilla until it reaches ribbon stage. What are you doing?
I feel like I am building.
Yeah.
You
This
are
is the
building.
foundation.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And the foundation stage is critical.
Yes, you could plaster a house after that. Also, what's going in there is some whipped cream. So make sure you don't over-whip your cream. Otherwise, of course, it'll turn into butter. And also be generous with the filling, you know. Swiss roll is one of my mom's favorite desserts and cakes. She loves this. And it's actually, once you make it once, you realize how simple it is to make. So, yeah, once she tasted mine, she was like, oh, my goodness, this reminds me of my childhood.
Yeah.
That's what I love about food. It's like so nostalgic, and it takes you to a wonderful place every time you taste something that's familiar.
It's giving always.
Always.
Okay, so I mean, I'm not going to wait for the end of that production line.
You're going to do the taste test
Let's
now.
just give it a bit of a taste.
I mean, I can so relate to the fact that, you know, food is not only about memories. I can definitely remember the times when my dad came home with some Swiss roll and I tucked in before dinner. I mean, I don't have a sweet tooth, but I mean, I've always been a naughty child. But I did that. And I mean, this is truly, truly, truly what's it about. But another element for me is that food is also a sensory experience.
Absolutely.
We're smelling, we're seeing, we're touching, it's textures. It's all about the full experience.
Absolutely.
For this one, I can tell you now, what I'm getting is I'm getting that smoothness of it that's come through really, really nicely. But what I didn't imagine beforehand was what the taste of vanilla and orange coming together would be like. Especially when you then bring in your cream there. I think there's something about the cream that neutralizes
Absolutely.
ever so nicely there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Professional taste tester.
So good. It tastes so
Wonderful.
good.
So this is making far too much noise, but we're almost at ribbon stage. We're not quite at ribbon stage. Let me tell you what ribbon stage actually looks like. So when people are making it at home, they know what to look for. Ribbon stage is when you lift your whisk and you can form an 8 with the batter.
Oh, wow.
And when you finish the 8, the rest of the 8 is still standing. Then it dissipates.
Wow,
Does that
that's
make sense?
ribbon
So
stage.
that's ribbon stage. So when you lift it, you have batter or the mixture trickling down.
Yes.
You draw a figure 8 and you'll see the 8 completed before it dissipates.
I love, you know, I'm also that kind of person. I want to make sure that I am always on the right track. So I pay very close attention to the different stages of cooking.
That's
so
it.
being able to have that telltale sign of, okay, now my batter is ready is
Yes.
iconic.
Absolutely.
So now that I've already added the marmalade, I've added the whipped cream.
Okay, now...
You've got sugar here. Is this normal granulated
No, so
sugar?
that sugar, that's caster sugar.
Caster
So the caster
sugar.
sugar is the sugar that you put on the outside, and it's the sugar you also whisk with the eggs. Leave that, because that sugar is what you sprinkle on the paper. Once the sponge comes out of the oven, it's a quick bake. So you'll see it's a very thin sponge, so it's a very quick bake. Once it comes out, you want to have a piece of paper or baking paper or even a clean kitchen towel. Sprinkle that with icing sugar or caster sugar, excuse me, and then you pop the sponge on there and you roll it up like you saw it just now.
Got you.
And then it helps it not stick to the paper, and it also adds a little bit of texture.
So is it safe for me to start the rolling?
It is absolutely safe for you to start rolling. Of course, you could now, you know, once you're making this Swiss roll for you and your family, you could add some chopped nuts. So don't put any pressure, just roll it back up, and gently peel away that paper. There you go, see? Looking beautiful. So back to the sponge here quickly. So once you've reached ribbon stage, you want to mix together your flour, your cake flour and your baking powder. So that's our chemical raising agent to add more fluff, air, etc. Mix those together. Then you want to sift them because you've worked so hard to create air and build air here. You don't want to dumb it down or dump it down with the heavy flour. So keeping everything light, sifted. And then you want to use a big metal spoon because it's got a sharper edge or a narrower edge. And you want to fold. So cut through the batter and fold in, making sure you incorporate all that flour. So you want to try and do this as gently but as quickly as possible because you want to get it into the oven as quickly as possible before we lose any more air.
Okay, but this really seemingly is a make or break when it comes to this particular baking recipe, right?
Yes,
because,
it's all about this lightness.
Could end
a bit dramatic. But yeah, I mean, the point is to have a really light sponge with a beautiful crumb. Oh, look how beautiful she's done there. Look at that. Look at
You've done this before, hey?
I came to work today. And I'm definitely, I mean, it's super simple. I felt all the pressure in the beginning, but honestly, it is so easy to put together. I'm just decorating now. Obviously, the board is a little messy, but at home, you can easily clean off and wipe off your board and just add those extra orange pieces to the mix.
Yo, imagine with lemon.
Lemon, hey, with a lemon curd instead of the jam.
You can, but you can mix it up with like different things. If you add like jam to it, then it becomes a different experience of it or expression of it altogether.
Add some chocolate mousse to it. You've got a whole different situation.
Stop, Zola.
So just spread the batter. Or be gentle with this. Like I said, you don't want to get rid of any more air than you have to.
Yeah. So, this is a really affordable way to create an experience. Baking time with family is always the perfect time. I love this. This is baking time now. This would go into our oven.
Into a preheated oven, 180 degrees, for 15 to 20 minutes. All you want, it's a very thin sponge. It'll spring, it'll go golden. Out the oven, onto your prepared sugary paper, roll it up, leave it to cool. Then you'll do exactly what she did. Unroll it, fill it, and perfection.
I am so proud of myself.
I'm proud of you, girl.
Swiss roll perfection, but I couldn't have done it without you. Let me not take the credit. And speaking of credit, if you would like to get your hands on this delicious, tasty dessert recipe, simply head over to afternoonexpress.co.za. After the break, Dumi and I will be taking over the kitchen to whip up a Middle Eastern shakshuka. Thanks so much for joining us, Zola.